Yeah, in Ithaca today, it is a gray morning. It's spring. You can feel that moistness in the air and that warming up, that spring, but it's kind of gray. And of course, the grayness is also around us in everything that's going on in the news. So I thought I would offer a little opening prayer, opening song, which is the words of the great Sufi saint Hazrat Inayat Khan. And it's just a nice reminder that there's beauty and positivity around us, even in the midst of all the gray and all of the negativity that we seem to be bombarded with right now, that it's easy for the mind to get skewed in that direction and think that that's what prevails, but it's both and, it's all of it. And as much as there's darkness and strife, there is also incredible beauty. So come into your yogic seat and take a deep breath in and just breathe in the magnificence of this moment right here, right now. Thy music causeth my soul to dance in the murmur of the wind. I hear thy flute. The waves of the sea keep the rhythm of my dancing steps. Through the whole of nature I hear thy music played. My beloved, my soul while dancing speaketh of its joy in song. Thy music causeth my soul to dance in the murmur of the wind. I hear thy flute. The waves of the sea keep the rhythm of my dancing steps. Through the whole of nature I hear thy music play. My beloved, my soul while dancing speaketh of its joy in song. Just take a moment to breathe that in. Lengthening up through your spine, letting the crown of the head reach to the sky. Rolling the shoulders back and down to spread the heart. Rooting the tailbone down into the earth. We're going to begin coming right into some dynamic movement, syncing it up with breath. So let your legs be crossed in easy pose and hands just on the front of your knees. Inhale, shoulders back and down. Feel the whole stretch in the front body. Spread the heart, look up so the throat opens. Come forward on your sit bones. Exhale, roll to the back of your sit bones, chin to chest. Navel in. Shoulders forward, spread wide behind the heart. And syncing up with breath, this rocking cat-cow. Inhale, arch back, look up. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, and draw the navel in. Just keep flowing with that, with nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Savor the movement, savor the breath. And let the sitting bones be like the blades of a rocking chair. So you're rocking forward and back on your sit bones. And see what opens as you continue to do this. See if you can notice some openings, some releases, some freeing up of some stuck energy. Let that Ujjayi breath brush the back of the throat. Let the breath get a little bit deeper. On the next inhale, just lengthen up through the spine, stack your shoulders over your hips, grow nice and long, lift the ribs, the lower ribs away from the pelvis, and let the arms reach to the horizons, palms turn up in that gesture of yes, opening up. The top of the breath, palms come together, exhale, draw the hands down the center line to the heart. We'll do a few more of those. Opening to grace, opening to possibility of this day, and gathering in presence, awareness. Inhale, opening up to joy, whatever it is, whatever quality you want to draw in. Exhale, gather it in, bring it into your heart. Syncing up the movement, the attention, and the breath. Opening up to whatever life presents today, and gathering in the strength, the courage, the skillfulness to be able to respond to whatever is offered. And then if there's any particular quality or medicine that you want to invite in, draw it in right now between the palms of your hands. Bring it into your mind and heart. Exhale, draw it right down the center line. Gather it right into your heart. Let the thumbs rest right at the sternum. And keeping that intention or prayer or quality or dedication in your mind and heart. Let's seal that with the sound of Om. Deep in-breath. Exhale together to Om. Eyes open with a soft gaze. Inhale, let your right arm lift, left palm roots down. Find length and space here without shrugging your shoulders. See if you can keep that right shoulder drop down. Long line from your right sit bones to your fingertips, and then take it into a side bend. Just doing a seated warm up here. Reach long and away without letting the elbow bend if you can. Just take a few pulses here, playing with expanding and lengthening on the in-breath, deepening into that side bend on the exhale, expanding, sending your breath to the space between your ribs. And exhale, release. Feel all that energy and aliveness in the arm. Maybe shake out that arm. Feel the space that you've created in the side body here. And just notice the difference between your right and left side. Lengthen up again, right up through the crown of the head. We'll take it on the other side. First, reach and lift. Invite length and space. Unshrug the shoulder. And take it into that side bend, hold here, reach long and away. Send your breath right into those fingertips. Palm faces down here. And the lower arm, the right arm can bend a little more to invite a little bit more side bend, but with support as your hand is on the earth. Both sit bones are connecting into the earth. And a little more breath, a little bit more exploration of the side bend. And exhale, release. Centered on your sit bones, arms reach and rise, and twisting right to left. Exhale into the twist, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, slow release to come up to center. You come up with your own pace depending on how long your breathing rhythm is this morning. So you don't have to follow me, follow your own breath. Let your own body and breath and attention sync up. Flowing side to side. You don't need to go super deep into the twist. We're just taking our time to open up the body, so it may get a little bit deeper with each round. So one more round. Twisting right and left. So we always exhale into the twist, letting the shoulders draw away from the ears. Inhale back to center, palms come together. Once again, gathering in that intention, bring it back to your heart. Roll the shoulders. See if there's anything you need to let roll off your shoulders this morning. And feel free to make a little bit of noise with that letting go. No noise too weird. You can go. Often when I'm feeling really, really busy, you can roll the other way now. When I'm feeling really, really busy, I just go up to somebody, usually my husband, and I go. All right. Lengthening up again, centered on your sit bones. Clasp your hands behind you in Yoga Mudra. Let the shoulder blades draw toward the center of the back like they want to kiss one another. And just feel that heart shine open. Like the opening lotus flower, or like the shining sun, whatever visualization you like, or like that poem by Rumi that says, open up the window in the center of your chest and let the spirits fly in and out. Whatever visualization helps you come into that open heart in the body and in the mind and spirit. If you need to use a strap between your hands to get a little more range of motion here, you can do that. And then I'm going to invite you to fold forward, and you might need to grab a block if that helps support you. As you fold forward over your legs, to let your head rest on your block, or perhaps the floor is available to you and you can bring your forehead to the floor. The hands come up, point to the sky, and then overhead. Notice the stretch in the hips and the glutes here as you fold over the legs. And you can release your hands. Let them frame the side of your head and press back up. And then cross your legs the other way. We often have a habitual way that we cross our legs, and it can feel a little weird to cross the other way. I'm going to take that again, opening the heart. Breathe in and out. Let the spirits fly in and out. Big inhale as the shoulder blades squeeze together and the hands reach back to the back of your space. And then when you're ready, fold over either onto the block or onto the floor. Maybe the block for you will need to be in a higher setting. That's okay. Whatever supports you in this. And if folding forward doesn't feel comfortable for you or stable, that's fine. Just to stay here with that expanded heart. When you're ready to release, bring the hands down to the floor, press into your fingertips or palms to come back up to center, and just let the arms shake out for a moment. Stretch out the legs for a moment. We've been sitting cross-legged for a while, so just stretch them out, shake them out, give them a little pat down on the outside, and up the inside. You can use your palms or you can use your fists to bring blood and prana to the legs. You might notice your legs falling asleep sometimes if we sit for too long. And then coming into Dandasana here, hands down under your shoulders, flex the feet, press out through the heel, feel the whole legs light up with energy here, and then find some pointing and flexing. Now, if you're doing this vigorously enough, you actually can feel that you're getting not only a stretch in the calves and the ankles, bottoms of the feet, but also you can feel it in your sitting bones. Can you feel like yourself giving yourself a butt massage here as you really point and flex vigorously? You're rocking back and forth on your sitting bones. So see if you can feel that. And then coming into stillness, circle the toes out in opposite directions. And toward one another, switching directions of the circles. Come into stillness in Dandasana, lengthen up through the spine. You're centered on your sitting bones. Just notice, feel the prana in the legs. Make sure this isn't too loud. And we'll take it into some hip opening explorations here. So come in to cradle the baby. You can start on your right side, and your left leg can either be straight as you sit centered on your sit bones, or you can have the knees softly bent. So you're gonna cradle that baby any way that you can access your lower leg. For some people, it'll be in the crooks of the elbows with your hands clasped. Others, it's gonna be hand on outside of knee and ankle. You wanna try to bring that lower leg as close to parallel as it will go. It may not go exactly vertical. Not vertical, horizontal. I always mix up vertical and horizontal. Horizontal, this way. But if it ends up being like this, that's fine. Just go to the edge of your stretch. The head of the baby, which is your foot, wants to come close to your shoulder. Draw that baby in. And notice if the spine is going into Shalampasana as you do this. So try to stay centered on your sit bones and use your core strength to elongate and lift up and draw your baby toward your heart. And if there's any variations that you want to play with here, bringing the lower leg into the crook of the elbow, pressing away the knee, or bringing both arms under the lower leg, you can do that. So find the access to this pose that feels doable but gives you the juice. You're going to feel it in your glutes, maybe in the outside of your thigh. It's a wonderful hip opener. Breathe and enjoy. Cradle the baby. Yum, yum. And then when you're ready to release, take your other baby. You have a set of twins here. See how it feels on this side. You can also rock your baby. And when you do rock the baby, it's not rocking the whole torso. It's just rocking the legs so that you're opening up. The movement comes from the hip. I love this stretch. This is one of the stretches in the pigeon family, which is sometimes we do figure 4 on our back, sometimes we do pigeon. The full Ekapada Raja Kapotasana pose is a great warm-up for that. Sometimes we do a standing balancing pigeon. It gives you the same kind of stretch. So breathe and enjoy whatever access you have to this pose. And keep aware of whether the spine is rounding and going into any kind of a schlumpiness or collapsing. So you want your shoulders to be down and back here. Send the breath to any place where you're noticing strong sensation. Because where we send our attention and our breath is where prana will flow. And when you're ready to release, I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to come a little bit forward on the sit bones, elongate, lift the spine out of the pelvic bowl with like imagining a sense of an arrow going from your tailbone through the crown of your head. We're going to take Baddha Konasana. First, you can just butterfly the legs a little bit. And you can decide the shape of your diamond, whether you want the heels to be a little closer or a little further away. Open your feet like a book so the outer edges stay connected, but you can see the soles of the feet. Grab either ankles, feet, or toes. Shoulders back and down. Lead with the heart. Lengthen up. And fold until you meet your edge. Not pushing past your edge, not trying to plow through it, but just meeting it. And letting yourself melt into it with a slow pulse. Inhaling, backing off and inviting length, that arrow that goes from tail through the crown of the head. Exhale, lead with the heart, drawing your shoulders back a little bit so you don't go into a rounded spine. And just take a few breaths like that to explore seated Baddha Konasana. You want to draw the outside of the knees and thighs toward the earth. You can use your elbows to give yourself a little leverage here, but if doing that makes you go into a rounded spine, then take your blocks and place them on the inside of your thighs. Elbows here. This allows you to keep the integrity of that flat back and long spine, but you can get a nice press with the elbows into the inner thighs. So play with that for a moment. It's a nice stretch in the low back too. Hip opener, inner thighs. Let the back of the neck be long. So notice if you're jutting your chin out or letting the head flop. The neck follows that beautiful long line of the spine. One more breath. Release when you're ready. And let the legs straighten out, shake them out. We're going to do something that stretches the backs of the legs, the low back, and also engages the core, begins to wake up and engage your core strength. We're going to do rowing the boat. So come to sit in Dandasana, centered on your sit bones. Feet and knees in line with the hip pointers, and you're going to grab the oars. You're in your rowboat. You're going to inhale, grab your oars and fold forward. Well, you inhale as you draw the oars in. You exhale as you fold forward, and then inhale, drawing the oars back. So you're going to let the fists come up the legs. And the idea here is you want to lean back as far as possible without letting your legs come off of the mat, and keep the spine long. You're going to feel those core muscles, those belly muscles power up. So inhale, exhale through the nose. Inhale, lean back, draw the oars all the way up to the armpits, and then exhale. Flow with breath. Inhale, pulling the oars back. Exhale, folding forward. In and out through the nose, flowing with breath, making that ujjayi sound. See how far you can lean back without losing your center of gravity. And feel those abdominal muscles firm up and engage. Notice if the feet want to lift up and see if you can really plant the legs down. And we're going to go in the opposite direction now, rowing your boat in reverse. So you're going to exhale as you push the oars away. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send the hands down toward the feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. So each time you fold forward, you're also compressing the abdominal area and giving your digestive organs a little bit of stimulation. You're stimulating the backs of the legs and stretching the low back. And each time you lean back, you're engaging that core strength. Remember the paraphrase? I think I sang this once to you before. The propel, propel, propel your craft gently down the liquid solution. Ecstatically, 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 ecstatically. Existence is but an illusion. Now let's do that as a round, okay? All right, come back to center. You can park your boat, let go of the oars. Just take a moment to notice what's alive in you right now. Swing your legs around, come into table, and just find a little cat-cow here, if that feels good, or any wagging the tail, barrel rolls, any movements here that feel intuitively appropriate for you. Then coming into a neutral spine, we're going to do a little more side stretch and glute strengthening. So slide your right, I'm going to do the left side first. So you can do whatever side you want, but I'll slide my left back so that you can see. Press out through the heel for a moment. Just give a little push into the hands. And then bring the shoulders over the wrist, arm bones stacked. We're going to take it all the way over. Take that left foot as far over to the right as you can, but have all 5 toes planted, heels straight up. And turn your right ear, see now I'm getting right and left confused. Turn your right ear to your right shoulder and look down beside your right hand. So don't look at your back foot because you want a side stretch on the side of the left side of the neck. We're going to expand into that half moon shape or crescent moon shape here. Curl up a little bit more. Exhale into that and then inhale, footprint on the wall. So you're going to bring that leg all the way across to press out through your left side. And let the foot be in line with the hip. So rather than hanging down like that, if you can, both arms straight, hips squared, shoulders squared. If you need a modification, you can bend the knee and do hydrant. Press out, flex the foot like you're making a footprint on the wall. Exhale into that side stretch again. Right ear to right shoulder. Unshrug the left shoulder away from the ear. So stretch, length. Create some length in the side of the neck. Inhale, footprint on the wall or hydrant, press it out. You want that leg perpendicular to the body and parallel to the floor. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, footprint one more time. Press it out, you can do it. Notice if your elbows want to bend, don't let the arms collapse. And exhale, straight back behind you, right into table balance. Firm your core, level your hips, reach the right fingers away, left toes behind, find a long line through the back body. Long horizontal line. Think I got it right this time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Chin to chest, round the spine. Expanding and contracting. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. With Ujjayi breath, with control, with gracefulness. Lengthen out one more time, and if it's available, you can inhale into a bow, opposite hand to foot bow kick, lifting the knee higher than the hip, or both hands down and just press up with your toes. Arch back, enjoy that back bend, front body stretch. Has to be opposite hand to foot, or else it will be very hard to balance. And release, and melt it back into your child's pose. If you need to circle your wrists, you can do that. I'm going to open the window a little bit. I know Pat was just probably about to ask me, right? It's drizzling out there. And just find your breath again. Notice the difference between one side and the other in your body. And then when you're ready, rise back up into table. We'll take that sequence on the other side. So from a neutral spine in table, slide your right foot back, press down and forward into the hands to juice up the stretch in the back of the calf. Press out through the heel, and then bring the shoulders over the wrists and slide that foot as far over to your left as you can. All 5 toes are making contact with the floor, heels straight up, and take that crescent moon shape. Left ear to left shoulder, right ear away from the ear, right shoulder away from the ear. Move your ear away from your ear. Right? Send the breath into the rib cage, curl up a little bit more, and then inhale, make that footprint on the wall. You can curl your toes under of the leg that you're kneeling on. And try to level your shoulders and level your hips, so you're not gonna be dropping one hip down if you can. And exhale into the side bend. Inhale, make that footprint on the wall, press it away, or do hydrant if that is more accessible to you. Exhale, side bend. And one more time, footprint on the wall. And right back. Exhale into your table balance. Find that long line through the body. Engage your glutes and hamstrings to keep that leg lifted. Firm core. You're corseting the spine with your abdominal muscles to support you as you lengthen out. Breathe into your fingertips. Breathe into your toes. Big breath in. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Chin to chest. Expand and contract. Flowing with breath, moving meditation. And then when you're ready, lengthen out, get firm here, feel your core activate, and then opposite hand to foot, kick up, look up. Try to get the knee higher than the hip if you can, or both hands down and just press up. And when you're ready to release, melt it back into your child's pose. When you're ready, rise up into your table and press it back to downward facing dog. And take some time to explore your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog this morning. Melt the heart down, send it to the place between the feet, lift the tailbone, let the sacrum rise to the sky as the low belly presses toward the thighs. You can let the hips sway side to side as your dog comes for a nice sauntering walk. Press down and forward into the hands so you're sending your energy beyond your fingertips and thumbs into the earth without bearing the weight in the heel of the hand. It's the fingers and roots of the fingers that bear the weight. Navel lifts in and up. And as you're ready, you can come into your plank pose. It's always fine to take that knee down if you're needing it. Inhaling plank, exhaling downward facing dog. Or taking a variation on the knees, knee down plank to child if you need that. So we're just stretching and activating through the arms and shoulders and upper back. Or if you're coming into full down dog, you're lengthening through the backs of the legs. The whole body really is engaged here. Core lift is happening. Sit bones are spreading when you come into down dog, like you're the peacock fanning his feathers. Now this is the time of year that the peacocks do that, so it's a nice image. And next time you come into your plank, lower down, knees, chest, chin. like you're looking under the couch, butt up in the air, your shoulders land over the hands, toes curl under. Inhale into your cobra, maybe starting with a baby cobra. If a full cobra feels available and you're ready for that, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're in the low cobra, keep your feet planted and let yourself come into a snake pose, either hands clasped or separate. See if you can do this without lifting the feet off of the mat. Draw the hands back behind you. And then if you want to come into your locust pose, you can peel the legs off all the way up so that the thighs lift off. And it's just the pelvis and the belly that are making connection here. Drawing your heart forward, feet back, legs are energized. 2 more breaths. And then you can melt the legs down, hands under the shoulders, maybe press up into a deeper cobra if that's available, or just hold your baby cobra for 1 more inhale. And then exhale into a cat stretch as a complementary stretch into flexion. And then inhale into your cow tilt and back to downward facing dog. I'm going to invite you to take it through your connecting vinyasa sequence 2 more times. So flowing with breath, inhale plank, exhale knees, chest, chin, inhale cobra, low or full, and exhale down dog. If you enjoy chaturanga up dog on your next round, you can take that or just stay with the knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga is low push-up body in one long line. Up dog straightens the arms and lifts the legs and pelvis off of the mat. And you roll over the toes, come to downward facing dog. When you are ready, you land in your down dog. And it's also absolutely fine, instead of cobra, to take a moment of Sphinx if that serves you better, if that feels more accessible to you. Always fine to come into child instead of down dog if you feel fatigued. We're going to step through with the right foot. So if you enjoy 3-legged dog and want to give it that flair, you can float the right toes up, keep pressing down and forward into the hands, and gracefully step it through. However you can get there into your low lunge, knee planted over ankle, slide the left knee back. Notice what's going on in your shoulders right now, and see if you can invite a little softening and lengthening of the spine. Softening of the shoulders, lengthening of the spine, root the pelvis down, inner thighs toward the midline, sweep up, kneeling warrior. Get that core lift happening, navel in and up. Drop the shoulders, you can spin the pinkies inward. If you enjoy and want a little bit more fierceness, you can bring your arms into steeple pose or just have hands separate. You should feel a nice stretch in the psoas area on the left side. Exhale, interlace your fingers, open your heart. Anybody need a knee pad here? You good? Okay. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, nice big open heart. Exhale, release, bring your hands down under your shoulders, fold back into runner's stretch. Let the hands stay under the shoulders rather than forward where your foot is. Slide your right foot forward, square your hips, lengthen out, and bow down, meet your edge here. On the inhale, lengthening, on the exhale, folding, long spine, flat back. So notice if you're going into this shlumpasana and see if you can correct for that by drawing the shoulders back and drawing the shoulder blades up toward the sky rather than letting them round forward. Sometimes it can be really helpful to have a block underneath you to support that flat back and long spine. So see what you need. 1 more breath here. And then we're going to roll the right foot down, come back into your lunge. Take it into a press twist to start, pressing your right hand into your thigh, left hand into the floor under the shoulder. To find that spinal twist and stack the right shoulder on top of the left. You can look up at the sky if that feels available. You can curl your back toes under, lift up into high lunge, and take it into full revolved side angle. Just get those inner thighs, that inner thigh active on the right side so your knee stays planted over ankle. Exhale, release, step back into plank, and in your own way, flow it through the connecting vinyasa to meet in down dog. With breath, take your time, breathe and enjoy. Fan your peacock feathers, melt your heart down, activate and press forward and down through the fingers and thumbs. See if you can grow an inch longer from your tailbone through your fingertips. We're going to step through with the left foot. So if you gave it that three-legged dog flare, lift it high, point the toes, heart stays low, and step it through. It might be that you need to come through table and do this kind of thing. However you need to get there, get your foot between your hands, unshrug your shoulders, lengthen through your spine. Take a moment to land here. Feel the stretch in the psoas on the right side. Lengthen through your spine. And then inner thighs come toward one another. Find your expression of kneeling warrior here. Also called Anjaneyasana. Root down through the tail, reach up through the crown, lift through the core, unshrug the shoulders. Fix your gaze into a spot in front of you for balance and stability. Interlace your fingers, open the heart nice and wide, big breath. Exhale, release, fold back into your runner stretch. Use blocks if you need to. Slide your left foot forward, your left heel forward a little bit. Lengthen out and meet your edge, the place where sensation is strong, but not pushing over to the point of pain. Just that place where you want to go, ooh yeah. Life begins at the edge of our comfort zone. So find that edge and enjoy. Breathe within and notice how the edge is not a solid static thing, but something that shifts and changes, perhaps with every breath. See if that's true for you. Every in-breath is an opportunity to lengthen, every out-breath an opportunity to explore that fold. When you're ready, roll that foot down, back into lunge. We'll take it into a press twist. Maybe you'll feel the spine come into that alignment. And if you want to curl the back toes under, lift up into high lunge, take it into a full revolved side angle. Expand like the sun's rays in all directions. Big breath, exhale, release, step it back to plank. One more time, flow it through in your own way, in your own time, letting your breath move the body. Once you come into downward facing dog, we're going to find a way to transition into a forward bend. So the feet are going to come between the hands. That could be a slow walking as you come up on your fingertips, or you can take a little soft hop, see if you can land without a sound, and come into a fold, nice and close. The torso to the front of the thighs. Maybe you want to bring your hands behind your calves to invite a little closer fold. Keep as much bend in your knees as you need to protect the hamstrings and the low back. And let the head be loose. Just let the head find its release toward the earth. Find your yes, your no, your maybe. And take a half lift, sliding the fingers up the shins. Find that flat back, navel in and up, shoulders unshrug, heart spreads, sit bones spread. Nice flat back like a table, and exhale, fold. And take another one of those. Inhale, lift up. If you use your fingertips on your shins, you will find more length than if you use your hands. And also, if your elbows are bent, you're not going to get the same opportunity to lengthen. Exhale. Take one more round of that at your own pace. Lengthening. Feel how your abdominal muscles support this. Exhale, fold. From here, soften the knees and we'll roll up one vertebra at a time. If you want to walk your hands up the legs to help support you, you can do that. Stack bone on bone on bone. Lengthen up, shoulders down and back. Sun breath, rising sun. Fix the screen. Bring your hands together overhead. Remember your intention. Gather it back to your heart. Beautiful. Notice what's alive in you. And we're going to do a warrior flow. So come to face the long end of your mat, feet nice and wide in your 5-pointed star. So hopefully you'll be able to see me here. If you need to tilt your mat so you can see me, that's fine. From heel to heel, the length of one of your legs. Toes turned out about 45 degrees. So when we take 5-pointed star, first just take this as a moment of touching into that sense of expansion in you as you reach the tailbone down into the core of the earth. As you reach the crown of the head to the heavens, to that infinity above you, reaching out to both horizons with your hands. It's a way to just touch into that sense of the energy that you are, being bigger than this body, actually being boundless. Soften your shoulders, spread your heart. And on the next in-breath, let the palms touch overhead, make that point of the star, and then pivot facing your right into a warrior 2. So you're going to bend, find a 90-degree angle or as close to it as you can with that right knee. Left leg is straight, your heel lines up with instep, and your toes are going to turn in on the left foot just slightly past center. Your right toes facing straight out to the right. Shoulders over hips. Hip pointers to the long end of your mat, knee toward pinky toe. So arms are right, expanding from the heart. Notice if you're doing this or doing this, and see if you can keep that long center of gravity right through the line of your spine. And we're going to inhale up to center, top of the breath, 5-pointed star. Exhale into your warrior 2. Now, check your alignment here. We're just going to go nice and slow these first few times so you can draw that knee toward pinky toe, feel the stretch in the inner thigh. And then flowing with breath, inhale, top of the star, exhale, warrior 2. So we practice pivoting with the feet. So be aware of your toes that you need to, when this toe pivots this way, this toe needs to pivot in. So it looks like this. Yeah. So just take a moment to focus on the alignment of the feet as you land in your warrior 2. If your stance is too short, you're not going to be able to get that 90-degree angle without sending. You won't really be able to get that 90-degree angle. So make sure you're wide enough, unless you feel really challenged with your balance, then you can modify. And as you flow side to side, let's add dancing. So as you inhale, the palms touch. As you exhale, you're landing in your warrior 2. Nice open heart, nice open hips. Turn the front palm up, which in this case facing right would be your right hand. Reach up and back behind you. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. So inhaling star. Exhale, landing in your warrior 2. Inhaling, dancing, same legs here. Exhale, warrior 2. So a moving meditation flowing with breath. You can also experiment with different ways to do dancing warrior. So perhaps elbow up, grabbing the ridge at the base of the skull, or bringing your lower hand back around behind you, grabbing your thigh in a bind. Just exhale, landing in 2. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhaling your version of the dancing warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. One more round, flowing with that exploration at your own pace. And there's a lot that needs to be, a lot of awareness on keeping those hips open, so keeping that knee drawing toward the pinky toe. And the next time you come to your right side, take your dancing warrior, whatever your expression is, so you get a nice side body stretch. And then exhale, land in warrior 2. And inhale, take it into your extended side angle. We'll just hold this for a moment. If you look at me, you notice that I have an unbroken diagonal line. The feet are in the same position as they are for warrior. And you have an unbroken line from the outer edge of your left foot to your left fingertips. And the core is firm, the spine is lengthened, and that hip is rolled open. Your forearm to your thigh gives you that support. If you want to take it into a bind, you can reach back around behind you, back of the hand to the hip, or grab your thigh and roll the torso open, look up at the sky. Or stay looking at the horizon if that's better for your neck. When you're ready to release, reach out again, inhale into that length. Exhale into your warrior 2. Inhale into your star. We'll take that sequence on the other side. Let yourself land in warrior 2. And when you come into your warrior 2, see if you can bring this hip forward so that rather than facing with your feet or hips at an angle, you want them to be facing the long, and then you have to correct for that. So it's kind of like a little dynamic tension there. All right, so once you've done your dancing warrior, you bring your forearm to your thigh and lengthen out. If your stance is short, then you're going to have that broken line. So you want to enjoy that long line of energy. Unshrug that upper shoulder. Find that core lift. Reach into your fingertips. Breathe into the fingertips. And then take your bind. This is the easy bind. There's a hard bind where you reach underneath, which you're free to do if you'd like. It's hard to hold that one. Reach long and away, take a breath into the fingertips, and then exhale back into your warrior 2. Inhale, pivot the feet, toes turn out 45 degrees, palms come together, and just take a moment to exhale, hands down to the heart. Back into the remembrance of your intention. Oh yeah. Pivot on the heels, toes are going to point straight ahead, so the outer edge lines as parallel to the outer edge of your mat. And then either with airplane arms or hands at the hips, come into a forward bend where you bring your shoulders, or you're going to come to a half forward bend, shoulders in line with hips. Lengthen out. You can either press into your thighs to invite that length and give yourself a little support, or if it's available, using your core strength more, fanning those sit bones, feeling the lovely stretch in the backs of the legs. Find airplane arms, back of the neck long. Breathe and enjoy here. And when you're ready, you can fold forward into a full forward bend, wide leg forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can use your head on the block, your hands on the block, hands underneath you. Maybe you want to take it into a wide leg down dog, reaching sit bones back, hands forward, heart down low to the place in the center between your feet. Breathe and enjoy. One of the ways you can play and explore here is you can take it into some side lunges, maybe using a block for support, pressing your hands into the block. And one way to do that is to have the outer edge of your foot stay just the way it is, toes pointing forward, coming into a side lunge on one side lunge on the other. If your knees are not happy with this, you don't have to go down so low, or you can skip it altogether. If you want a little more challenge on the knees, you can come into all the way down into a squat and lift your toes up to the sky, and maybe bring your hands into prayer position. My knees are not all that happy with that, or at least getting into it is not that happy. Once I get there, I can usually hold it. So listen to what your knees need and say to you. Another way that you can explore here is just walking the hands over to one side, bring the opposite hand to the ankle, and lift the same side hand up to the sky into like a twist fold. So walking, if you walk your hands over to your left, right hand grabs around the outside of the ankle, left hand reaches to the sky. Stack the one shoulder on top of the other. And other way to explore in the twist is just both hands under the shoulder and flat back, just lift one hand to the sky. Simple spinal twist here. Keep the sacrum flat if you can. So take another moment to explore and enjoy these possibilities. And then come into your forward fold, half lift. Support yourself on your fingers or a block. Point the toes out in opposite directions as you pivot on the feet, bend the knees. We're going to roll up slowly right into your goddess pose. So you're going to keep those knees bent, arms out to shoulder height, bend the elbows. And we're going to take a few long, slow, deep breaths in goddess. So bring the pubic bone forward so that you're lengthening through the low back and send the tailbone into the earth. Lower the music. See if you can imagine that your back is leaning against a wall. Yeah. And open the heart. And with your breath, call upon and invoke the goddess that you need today. A goddess of compassion, a goddess of wisdom, goddess of creativity, goddess of joy. There's a goddess for just about everything that we need. So call her in with your breath. When you're ready to release, bring your shoulders over your hips. You're leaning forward a little bit. Lean back toward me a little bit. And then opening up into your five-pointed star as you straighten your legs. Oh yeah. Palms come together and gather in. Yes. Woo, feel that aliveness in the legs. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. 2. Hip width apart and just shake out. Any wiggles and waggles that feel good. We'll take it into a little balance play before we come down onto the mat. Whew. Okay. So we've done a lot of hip openers today. So what I'd like to do is to take it into your eagle pose, which is an internal rotation of the hips, where the thighs, where the legs are coming toward one another and crossing. And the trick in eagle is that you want to make sure there's some do's and don'ts for eagle. You want to make sure that when you cross over and you wrap your legs, that there's no space in between the legs. So you don't want to see any daylight between your thighs. You want to imagine that the headlights of your hips are kind of sending a beam of light that's crossing. You also want to get down as low as you can comfortably go. And if you are working on learning how to let your foot wrap around the standing leg, the only way you're going to get that is if you come down nice and low. You can't do that if you're up too high. It's just not anatomically possible. So you can practice, in order to get that stability, you can practice with your sacrum against the wall so that you take the balance play out of it just to get the mechanics in the body of the eagle pose. Other way that you can do this, freestanding without the wall, is to take a block on the outside of your standing leg and just let that foot rest there for a moment. to get just your stability and get the legs wrapping. And then eventually you can work on, it's okay if you can't wrap the foot, that's fine. The arms, whatever leg wraps around, the same side arm comes underneath, and you want to have the palms face away and the thumbs face toward you. That could be backs of the hands touching, or if it's available, to bring the outer hand to the fingers to the palm, that you're wrapping your wrist. You still keep your thumbs facing toward you, your fingers reaching up without crooking the fingers or crooking the wrists. And then you lift your elbows to shoulder height. Those of you who are comfortable with eagle and want to take it into a little deeper challenge can try this. I can't seem to get full view of myself. Get into your eagle wrap and just take a moment to enjoy that, and then try folding forward, tucking the chin toward the chest, bringing the arms to touch the thigh, rounding the upper back, and then lifting up. So that's a little more balanced challenge, and then you can take it into your opening your wings and crane to transition down before you take it to the other side. So take a moment to play with your eagle, and I'll see if anybody needs any support here. Yeah, beautiful. So the standing leg needs to be bent. So one of the things that I notice people do is they bend the leg that they're wrapping, but they keep the standing leg bent. And you want to try to bend both legs. So the standing leg is like coming into a chair pose. Now relax your jaw. Relax around the mouth and the eyes and the forehead as you do this. Yeah. If you haven't switched to the other side yet, make sure you switch to the other side. Yeah, and it's fine. You know, some people, if the shoulders are tight or just your anatomy is such that it's hard to get your hands even near each other, you can just give yourself a hug. Because what we want to do, the whole point of this is it stretches the upper arms and the upper back and invites space and expansion between the shoulder blades. So maybe just giving yourself a hug and seeing if you can touch your fingers to that ridge at the edge of the shoulder blades. That could be your, or even just as far as you can reach. Once you feel complete on both sides with your eagle pose, I invite you to come down onto your back. And hug the knees in toward the chest. And just give your hips a little love by circling the hips here. Circle the knees one way and then the other way. Then we're going to take it into an abdominal strengthening and spinal twist that actually is continuing finding the posture of eagle in your body. I'm going to invite you to come into eagle on your back. So, lying on your back, call this the eagle ab flow. So cross your legs. You can start with your right thigh on top of your left, and you might find it a lot easier to wrap the foot around the back of the other leg here. And then wrap your arms with the right arm underneath, finding your expression of eagle arms. From here, as you inhale, touch the toes down to the mat. In front of you, reach the hands back. Exhale, contract, bring the forearm to the thighs. Let the head and shoulders and upper back roll off the mat, chin to chest. Inhale, toes touch down, hands reach back as the head and shoulders relax. Exhale, contract, coming into that nice abdominal crunch. So inhale, toes touch down, hands lengthening. Exhale, contract. See if you can do 3 more of those. And then keeping the knees, after the third one, keeping the knees up at hip height, just unravel the arms, plant the palms down at shoulder height, opening up in T position. Both shoulders stay relaxed into the mat. And if your right thigh is on top, let the knees draw down to the left into your twisted root. If that feels a little too tight on your low back, you can unwind the legs and take them into L shape, letting the head turn toward the right hand, opposite your knees. Softening both the backs of both shoulders into the mat. 3 deep breaths here. Any twist that feels good here. The twisted root is a strong one, so it's not necessarily appropriate for everybody. When you feel complete with this twist on this side, draw the knees back up to center, switch the legs the other way into eagle legs. This time, eagle arms, left arm underneath. Inhale, toes touch down, hands reach back. Exhale, contract, lifting upper back, head and shoulders off of the mat, chin to chest, nose towards your elbows. Inhale, touch down. Exhale, contract. 4 more. Using that Ujjayi breath, nice and slow. And when you feel complete with this, you can keep your knees where they are at hip height. Open your hands, palms down, plant the backs of both shoulders in the mat. Float the knees down to the right, turn your gaze to the left. Invite that left shoulder to stay connected with the mat as best you can. Or unravel the legs and just come into a 90-degree angle, inner thighs resting together. If you need to place a fist or a blanket or block between your thighs for a little more ease in this twist, you can do that. Just place a blanket there, yeah. It's cooled off quite a bit. I'm going to close the window just for a moment as we come into the more still. I invite you to release the twist when you feel complete. And today, I want to invite you to come into a restorative bridge as our inversion practice today. So I'm going to bring the feet to hip width apart to prepare, just like you're preparing for Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. But you're going to have your block nearby. And inhale, roll up, lifting the hip pointers higher than the heart. And either slip your block underneath. Some of you may need the flattest setting, some of you medium setting. And to come into the higher setting, what you probably need to do is press into the balls of the feet and lift your heels, just so you can get the block underneath and place the surface of the block right underneath the sacrum. So the edge of the surface that you're resting on is kind of right, the lower edge is kind of right above your butt crack. So you don't want to be pressing into the lumbar area, but on the flat part of the sacrum. And then you can lower your heels down. And just let the legs relax with your feet connected to the floor. Turn your palms up. Roll the upper arms open a little bit. And just let this gentle inversion nourish the heart, nourish the thyroid and parathyroid. And for those of you who are here in the studio, I can come around and help you get a little support. Sometimes you might feel like it's hard to get that block as high as you need it, so I can help you with that. If you're at home, just do a level that's comfortable for you with your block, remembering that lifting your heels is going to give you the access to move that block underneath. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, then go to the next lowest setting. But remember to lower your heels once you get set up so that you can just hang out there and let the pose do its work on you. In supported bridge, I always say, don't worry about trying to keep your knees in any position. Just let the legs be as relaxed as you can. While you're in your supported bridge, this is a passive pose, a restorative pose where you just allow the shape of the pose to have its effects on your nervous system. So touch into the long, slow, deep yogic breathing that you know how to do. See if you can just let your hips relax into the support of the block. See if you can invite the heart to expand a little bit so that you open, keep that heart open. And sometimes just taking a little tuck of the shoulder blades toward one another can help that. Palms up in that receptive gesture. Breathe and enjoy. to release the supported bridge. Very gently press into the balls of the feet and lift your heels and slide the block and roll down really slowly from one vertebra up between the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. Roll down. Slowly draw the thighs in toward the ribs. Give yourself an embrace, rock side to side. And if it feels good, you can take your happy baby pose. Soles of the feet face the sky. You can either grab your feet anywhere you can reach them or your ankles. Let the thighs come down on either side of the rib cage and send the sacrum down to the mat. The thighs draw down toward the floor. And slowly bring the knees together, releasing happy baby. I invite you to just let yourself melt right into Shavasana. I'm going to do a little bit longer Shavasana today so that you have an opportunity to really deeply relax. So I want to give you a moment to get set up if anybody needs a bolster underneath your knees or a blanket over you. Let me know what I can do to get you set up. Those of you at home, just take a moment to get comfortable, layer up, maybe socks. Let me know if anybody in here needs anything to support you. Do you want a real bolster under? No, that's perfect. Okay. You want a blanket over you?
I'll just throw my
Okay. Okay. All right. So begin by closing the eyes, letting the palms turn up, arms about 45 degrees from the body. Your feet can be a little wider than your hips, and let the toes naturally turn out in opposite directions. And just to maintain that quality of an open heart, a very slight tucking of the shoulder blades toward one another. Not anything that takes any muscular effort to maintain, but just a bringing your body into that alignment so the heart stays expanded. Walk your hands a little bit toward your feet so the shoulders stay away from the ears. Take a moment to take a deep breath in, filling all the way up, belly, ribs, chest. Pause at the top. Enjoy that fullness. And on the exhale, let the whole back body melt into the mat. Let the earth receive you. Another deep breath in. Fill all the way up in that spirit of savoring this breath. This inviting in of prana into every cell. Pause in fullness. And on the exhale, allow any activity in the mind to dissolve with that exhale. And one more long, deep breath in, pausing in fullness. See if you can feel that breath, filling up your whole body, all the way into the toes and to the top of the head. And on that exhale, if there's anything in the emotional realm, energetic realm that needs to be offered out, let it go in the spirit of being willing to completely empty. If there are sounds or you're aware of activity around you, just note that. Just say sound, hearing. Feeling. And return to the awareness of your breath. Let the breath come to you. Let go of any control or manipulation of breathing. Just enjoying the knowing that your body has its own inherent wisdom. Drawing in just the perfect amount of oxygen and life force that you need to sustain life in you in this moment. Knowing that your heart is finding the perfect rhythm to extend your life pulse by pulse, one moment at a time. Every out-breath is an opportunity to allow the body to dissolve into the state of peace and deep relaxation that is your natural state, your birthright. So with the next out-breath, allow the bottoms of the feet and the toes and the tops of the feet, the heels, the ankles, to release and relax. Into the soft, peaceful, open, empty state that you enjoyed when you were in the womb. Let the lower legs, the calves, the shins soften and dissolve with the next breath, the next exhale, into that natural state of relaxed, soft peace. The backs of the knees, tops of the knees, kneecaps, sides of the knees, inside and out, soft and relaxed with the next exhale. The quadriceps and hamstrings, sides, insides and outsides of the thighs, entire thighs, soft and relaxed. With the ease of your out-breath. The buttocks, the hips, the front of the pelvis, and all the internal organs in the pelvic area, soft and relaxed. Returning to your natural state. The low back, and the lower abdomen, and all of the organs that live in your lower abdomen, soft and relaxed, working beautifully together to sustain life in you without any interference, without any doing. With your awareness moving up through the torso, the front of the ribs, the lower ribs, middle ribs, sides of the ribs, the middle back, and moving into the upper back. Soft and relaxed. The chest, the front of the chest, even as it is a strong protective layer for your heart, is soft and full of ease. The shoulders are soft. And that softness and ease moves down from the shoulders through the upper arms. Feeling the upper arms just melt into the earth. Elbows soft. Inner elbows, outer elbows. And the lower arms. Soft and relaxed, supported by the earth. Let that unwinding, releasing energy run down the arms like water running down the sides of a rock, flowing out through the palms and through each fingertip. You might even be able to notice that tingling of prana in your arms. Just allowing yourself to return to the natural state of peace. Let the front of the throat relax, the Adam's apple, the sides of the neck, and the back of the neck. Notice how just bringing your awareness to these beautiful parts of your body, just awareness, can invite a softening. And using the power of your exhale, without forcing, but just with a soft allowing, invites a release. Let the jaw soften, the muscles around the lips, the cheekbones, the temples, the ears. Let that awareness of softening move to the ridge at the base of the skull and the back of the head that makes gentle contact with the earth. It's safe to let go. Let the cheekbones soften and all the muscles around the eyes, eyelids soft and relaxed. Notice if there's any clenching or contraction in the face or in the brow, any furrowing in the brow. And just allow the natural power of your out-breath to invite a softening and dissolving. Let that softening move up through the skull to the crown of the head, the whole scalp. And from that point at the very crown of the head, all the way down through the body, through the soles of the feet, you are completely relaxed and at peace. Returning to your natural state. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This beautiful Sanskrit prayer, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om, means praise, victory to the divinity that lives within me. That name Ram has been described as a word that means reservoir of bliss or reservoir of pleasure, which is nowhere else but within you. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Begin to deepen your breath and slowly bring some movement into your fingers and into your toes. Bring some movement into any other parts of your body that bring you back into present moment awareness. And find a movement that brings you over onto your side. And slowly take your time, find your way into a seated position for our closing. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. May you take this peace into your day, beyond your mat, and may this peace be with you throughout everything that you do today, your interactions with others, your work, all your endeavors. Until we meet again. Big breath in, and let's close with the sound of Om. Namaste.